Just one day remaining until Red Bull debuts its car park drift event on Saturday, the 1st of October in Montego Bay. That's on Jamaica's north coast. The event, dubbed Need for Speed, is set to air live on Sportsmax from 8 o'clock Saturday night, 9 o'clock Eastern Caribbean. 20 drifters, all Jamaicans, will showcase their skills in the battle to be crowned King of the Drift. To discuss the event, we are joined by one of Jamaica's leading race car drivers, Doug Hollywood Gore, well known right throughout the Caribbean as well. He will serve as a judge for Saturday's event. Doug, welcome to the Sportsmax Zone. Always great to have you on the show here. And our motor racing fans are in for a treat Saturday night in Mo Bay, aren't they?
Boy, are they ever. I can tell you that this is going to be a humdinger of event. This is something that has been planned by Dean Carrodus and I with Race Zone. We are actually an enterprise that actually puts on these kind of shows, and we've been doing it all over the island. And I can tell you something, that when Red Bull came to us and gave us this idea and said that they would like to go and send a Jamaican to go to Abu Dhabi to represent Jamaica, and this was just something that we're like, wow, this is going to be a hell of an event. And we have been having shows throughout Jamaica, all over Jamaica. And, it has just come down to this fantastic moment that we're going to have at Catherine Hall Sports Complex tomorrow night. I mean, I can tell you something, if you have never seen a car go fully sideways with tires wheeling and the engines licking off the rev limiter, this is now your time to come and experience this.
So given what you've seen so far, Doug, are there any skillful performers that we can look out for on Saturday night? Off the bat.
Well, I can tell you that they have 20 drivers that were eliminated and actually came down to 20. And I can tell you that there are about 6 or 7 drivers that can actually represent Jamaica right now. Yeah, and this is just something to show that we have Jamaicans right here that can actually do it. And we even have a Red Bull race car driver that is actually going to come down and race a BMW and show us how it's done. So you're going to see like the top of Norris, and then you're going to see our local guys. And I think that this is going to be something to be seen. The local guys are going to put on a show, and I think so is the Red Bull driver. He's actually driving Sizzler's BMW. We actually borrowed the BMW from Sizzler, and we've put it all in Red Bull colors and livery, and my gosh, the car looks fantastic. And I can tell you that this car is going to be absolutely awesome. When everybody hears that car move out with the fella, his name is Joe, he's actually a Red Bull driver. That is going to be absolutely something to behold come tomorrow night.
Doug, I can imagine many of these drivers are going to be living their Dominic Toretto Fast and Furious fantasies out in those cars in front of the crowd. For those who like the spectacle of drifting but don't know some of the technical details, how will it be adjudicated? Is it that it's a time you take to go around the course, how many obstacles, how many of the cones you hit? How will it be ruled?
So what has happened is that Red Bull came when they came with us and told us what they wanted and what they're esteemed to be. And after hearing that, I would say, well, our thing is a little different. Our thing is timed. It's mostly dexterity sort of situation. Yes, our drivers are a little flamboyant and they can put on like a show and like a pop and so on, but it was all based on how fast you could actually do the time. No, these guys now are totally different. These guys are talking about throwing a car sideways, hitting obstacles, as you can see in the film. I mean, we're talking about some serious sideways action. And, it was just totally different compared to what we're used to. So we actually had to go to our guys and say, hey, this is what needs to be done. And we actually want you to come and start to practice and show that this is what these cars are going to be having to be doing. As you can see in the film, the car actually has to touch certain items in the back of the car. You see how the guy threw the car sideways and he actually touching that ball. He has to come into that box and throw the car sideways again. This is totally different to what we all know as our drifting events. So this is something that has been a lead up, making sure that our drivers can compete on the world scene. And I can tell you right now, we have about 6 drivers that can actually do it. They are really good. And I'm looking forward to making this a fantastic show, and hopefully it will be an annual event.
Yeah, the reason I asked, and thank you for that comprehensive answer, because I know Red Bull doesn't do anything normal. And the usual thing in a drifting event is how quickly you go around and the obstacles that you touch, and you get points based on that. But I knew that Red Bull would have a twist in how they design their competition. A question for you again, Doug. Would it make a difference? Well, I'm sure it will make a difference. You're the expert. You'll tell us what kind of difference. If it rains in Montego Bay, and the surface is slickened up by the water, is it that tire considerations will have to go into it for the drivers? And how does that influence the handling of the car and the maneuvers that the drivers will have to wield to impress the judges?
Well, one thing, Race Zone, Dean and I have actually gone ahead and actually got my truck and actually put a tire changing machine in the back of the truck. So if you have any problems with your tires, we can change it right there on the spot in a couple of minutes, put it back on your car for the next outing. We want to have no complications whatsoever, so we're making all the necessary, any issues that we could even think about, we're making sure that those issues...
And the rain issue, Doug, and the rain issue, will it have any bearing on how the cars handle?
Actually, it's going to make the show actually even better. A little drizzle, you're going to see the cars even more sideways than before, which is actually what we want.
Yeah.
We want the cars to be putting on a show for everybody. We want everybody to go there and say, yes, sir, and literally go on and go crazy. And it is a show because Asafa Powell, Richie Ray, and myself are actually going to be judging based off of the show. So first of all, the car have to look good. He has to go and drive flamboyantly. And he actually has to go and hit down these particular cones and obstacles in its way. So that is how we're actually going to judge the event. And then we're going to pick a driver, the best driver to go and represent Jamaica in Abu Dhabi at the end of the year.
Excellent. Doug Gore, thank you very much. We look forward to showing this live on Sportsmax on Saturday evening from 8 o'clock Jamaica time, 9 o'clock Eastern Caribbean time. It promises to be special. Red Bull is involved. It's going to be spectacular. All the best to you.
So I just want to tell you right now that if you come down and going to pass in one of the seatbelts and take your lap around.
Good joke, Doug. Good joke. Thank you very much, my friend. All the best to you.
Well, I just tell it to bring the diapers.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We're going to need adult briefs for that. Thank you very much, my friend. All right, Doug Hollywood Gore there talking about the event, Lance.
Yeah.
Red Bull does nothing normal.
That's right.
It's going to be spectacular, and tune in from 8 o'clock. I'll be watching.
Right. Asafa Paul, one of the judges.
Yes.
Surprised he isn't driving because he loves speed, doesn't he?
Well, for other considerations, he said he didn't retire. He said that in an interview recently. So he has to. I think he's contractually eliminated from any consideration where speed racing is concerned. So there you go. All right, 8 o'clock tomorrow night in Jamaica, 9 o'clock outside. Need for Speed drifting competition. Who will be king of the drift?